All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's week 6 in the National Football League, and in front of me I have the definitive top 10 teams in the National Football League.
You got the Colts up there, Eric?
I do not, actually.
Okay, so we're off to a good start.
Surprisingly enough.
Damn it, man. One day the Colts are going to make it back up there.
Wolchuk puts a lot of time and effort in this, and he'll end up giving you, like, the top 20. Like, he'll just run through who's on the outside looking in. I don't have time for those
mentions.
Games. I don't have time for those games, and I don't have respect for those teams. Are you in the top 10, or are you not? Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Team number 10. It is the Green Bay Packers of Green Bay. I mean, listen, they got Aaron Rodgers. They're 4-1. They're a solid football team, but at this point, they are the only 4-1 team in the league right now with a negative point differential. That is what we call alarming, ladies and gentlemen. The offensive line, I know they're without Bakhtiari right now, but it is not the same type of Packers offensive line that we sort of came to know and love last year, right? The last year, their offensive line was pretty dang good. Not so much this year. And it feels like, and we know the defense is not very good, but offensively, it's like it's Devontae Adams or bust. Who else is it?
I mean, they got Aaron Jones still.
Right, sure. But like from a receiving standpoint, even Aaron Jones, has Aaron Jones had the type of year that you would expect out of him? He was a magnet for the end zone last year, right?
No, he was.
And Aaron Jones is still a solid player, but the offensive line is not quite the same. And just from an other weaponry standpoint, it's like, man, if it's not Devontae Adams having an absolute ball crusher dominant game, which he's more than capable of, plenty. But when you start stacking them up against the best teams, man, you got to find somebody else. So the Packers sit at number 10. Oh, and I just gave you the stat. They're 27th in the league right now in red zone touchdowns, right? 55% of their red zone trips end in a touchdown. 27th in the league. That's what we call not good. Moving on, number 9. The Browns, a team that is solid. I have to show them respect, but Baker is too limited to be any higher than this. They have practically no margin for error. Now, they are the best rush offense in the NFL. Tip of the cap to them. Awesome offensive line. Awesome backs. When the defense is healthy, which it was not over the weekend versus the Chargers, to their credit, and it showed. But when the defense is healthy, it's a very, very good defense.
I am surprised they went blow for blow with the Chargers on Sunday. Like, I did not expect them to keep up with them as far as on the offense.
Being able to score those points, for sure. But then what happens when you need Baker to do one more for you late in the game? Couldn't happen. And they've actually blown 2 10-plus, 2 double-digit leads, basically, already. And so, good team, yes. Shot at a Super Bowl? Absolutely not. They're number 9. The Chiefs right now, I will have at number 8. And I mean,
what is happening to them?
There's so much to like about their offense outside of the turnovers. I mean, they're tied with the Jaguars right now for the most turnovers in the league. That's a problem. Do I think it's a problem that will continue? No. But at least when it comes to like late in the year, I think they'll get that figured out. I think Pat Mahomes will learn how to play. I mean, he's thrown some interceptions. They've had some weird, uncharacteristic fumbles here, fumbles there. I think they'll get the turnover thing situated. But right now, like I said, they're tied for Jacksonville with the most in the league. Defensively, they're giving up 7.1 yards per play. We talked about it last night. The most prolific offense in the entire sport ever, historically. The 2000 Rams, the greatest show on turf. They average 7 yards per play. Right now, the Chiefs defense is giving up 7.1 yards per play. That is terrible. Now, they still have the best offense in many metrics. There's no question about it. On a per-play basis, or a points per drive basis, they're number 1 in the league. And they're number 1 offensively over the last, 10 or 12 years, really, in the NFL.
They just can't stop a soul.
So, right now, the defense is their biggest problem. The turnovers are an issue, for sure. But I think the Chiefs, their offense is good enough to overcome the turnovers. The problem is their defense isn't good enough to overcome turnovers offensively right now. I think they'll clean up the turnovers late in the season, or sort of the rest of the way. But defensively, man, they are a massive issue. And if they don't get it fixed at least a little bit, they cannot win a Super Bowl with that defense.
They're one of the worst scoring defenses in the league, and also they're terrible in terms of red zone defense. It's a formula for disaster when trying to be a good football team overall, period.
No question about it. So the Chiefs come in at number 8. Number 7, I'm going to put the Ravens there. And they had a nice comeback victory over the Colts, but I mean, come on, it's the Colts here. What are we talking about?
I mean, still, my gosh, man. He went 37 of 43 for 442.
Brilliant.
That's
Absolutely
insane.
brilliant. No, and that's the thing, though. Like, Lamar.
That is insane.
Lamar right now kind of has to be Superman for them.
Yeah.
And he's capable. Like Devontae Adams and the Packers. He's more than capable of being just go-to, bona fide super stud. But at some point, when does that wear off? When you get into the playoffs, when you get against great teams, you need to have a little bit more versatility to your offense. Right now, it's Lamar bust. And it's working for him. He can be Superman. And here's something that'll surprise you. The Ravens and Lamar Jackson right now are best in the league on a expected points added per play basis when it comes to early down dropbacks. When they drop back and throw on first and second down, from an expected points added standpoint, there's not a team in the league better.
You hear that, Bill Polian? You hear that?
Yeah. Thank God he's not playing wide receiver. Bill Polian, you are a schmuck. But and one thing that's also been good about the Ravens this year is they've had some comeback wins, some big deficits that they've had to overcome. And that was something about Lamar Jackson the first couple of years we didn't know that he was capable of doing. They were always playing with a lead, and if they got down, because they were just such a run-first offense, can they overcome a 10-point halftime lead? Well, they've shown a couple of times this year they absolutely can. Ravens coming in at number 7 on the power rankings. I got Rams at 6. All 4 of the Rams' wins this year have come against playoff teams from last year. All right, so they've beat some solid teams. We know what they did to the Bucs, the defending champs. That was their game of the season to this point. I think Stafford has been decent. He hasn't been great. He's had some awesome moments. Their offense is super explosive. They're number 1 in the league, average yards per play at 6.7. That's a big time stat right there. They are extremely explosive. I like what they have with Darrell Henderson, and so does my fantasy team. But their defense is a bit problematic right now, right? I mean, the defense is not what we thought it was going to be. Losing Brandon Staley to the Chargers was a big loss.
Which is still wild to think about because Aaron Donald is still a leading candidate for Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL. Despite all of that, and you still got Jalen Ramsey.
So I will put the Rams at 6, outside looking in on the top 5. At number 5, here they come. Brandon Staley, Justin Herbert, and the Chargers, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. It's about time we get respect for them. I came into this year all offseason. Everybody was talking about Herbert, Staley. And I felt like their future was going to be extremely bright. But I felt like, man, in that division with Pat Mahomes and Andy Reid, you're fighting for just a wild card spot. There's no way you're going to win that division. Well, you look up 5 weeks in, and they're 2 games ahead of the Chiefs in the division. Chiefs defense looking bad. Chargers beat the Chiefs. Chargers obviously beat the Browns on Sunday. That was an epic game. Herbert's just getting better and better. He's absolutely nasty. And he's got 3 straight games, 3 touchdowns, 100-plus passer rating. Love their coach. Love Brandon Staley. Love what he's doing on 4th downs. The balls this guy has. We talked about it yesterday. I mean, they're willing to go for it on 4th down, and they're converting on 4th down. They're the best 4th down team in the league. They're willing to take those 4th down chances, and Justin Herbert has rewarded them time and time again. I respect it. Their run defense, though, we'll say that's a problem. That's going to have to get a little bit straightened out. No team's perfect. That's their Achilles heel. Otherwise, like what we're seeing from the Chargers right now. Let's go ahead and put the Bucs at 4. Defending champs.
Okay, all
Tom
right.
Brady.
All right. That means we know a certain team's in the top 3, Wolchuk. Or no, zero's in there. My bad.
It's all right.
Wolchuk's here in spirit. My bad.
Wolchuk is in here in spirit. I would imagine he's hopefully listening right now. He's probably texting me. I can't look at it, though, because I'm too focused on these very important power rankings. The Bucs come in at number 4. Got the top passing offense in the league right now. Brady's just chucking it around the yard. They got a bunch of receivers. They got like 3 receivers about to go for 1,000 yards. Defensively, though, they're a problem. They're banged up this week. We'll see what they're able to field tomorrow night versus the Eagles. No Levante David, a couple other guys that are going to be missing. Antoine Winfield Jr. The defense has not been near the same, and so that's a little bit concerning right now. But can they get that together by the end of the season? I absolutely think they can. So we'll put Brady and the Bucs at 4. I'm going to put the undefeated Cardinals at 3.
Whoa!
I respect the Cardinals for sure. I think they're a complementary type team who is very good on offense, and they're very good on defense. They play with a lead an often amount of time, and they have a legitimate pass rush. I think that is a good thing when you have a Chandler Jones, when you have a J.J. Watt, stuff like that. Kyler's been a beast. They've won pretty. They've won ugly. They're finding ways to get it done. Ultimately, do I feel like they're going to win the Super Bowl? No, I don't. But are they a really damn good team? Absolutely they are. Is Kyler growing right in front of our eyes? Absolutely is. Not physically, of course.
It's a little hard to do at his age now.
But on the field, the dude has been playing well. So kudos to the Cardinals. They come in at number 3.
Oh.
Sorry, they're not
What's he going to do
undefeated.
here, KG?
Whoa.
What's he about to do here?
So I think I got an idea who his top 2 are at this point, right?
Mm-hmm.
Of course you do. Number 2.
There's nobody. No?
Nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills, but we will get to them in a second. 'Cause
damn
now,
it, Eric.
we got to talk about our Dallas Cowboys
touchdown.
here on the home of the Cowboys. And if you look around the all the entities that are doing power rankings, the Cowboys are, I mean, you're not going to find them any lower than 7th at this point. I think they're for sure top 5. If you want to start parsing there, that's okay. They got to be a top 5 team. To me, they're number 2. They've been the most consistent team in the league to this point outside of the Cardinals. Right? I mean, and even in the game they lost to Tampa week 1, it was still a damn good game. They still showed up and played well. It wasn't like they just laid an egg. They looked really good against the Bucs in the season opener on the road with Dak's first game back in forever, no training camp. They still look sharp. So I like what the Cowboys have done. They've played well. They can beat you in a million ways offensively. I mean, if you're a defensive coordinator taking on this Cowboys offense, where do you start? I have no idea, because they can beat you, like I said, in a million different ways. We know what the defense is doing right now, creating the turnovers. They got bodies that they're going to get back with Tank and Neville Gallimore. Seems like the defense probably will only continue to get better as the season goes on, which is very, very exciting. They've shown they can win without stars, where at least some of these stars being injured. Gallup, boom. Tank, boom. Zach Martin, week 1, boom. Okay, that's fine. No La'el Collins, we're good. Donovan Wilson, we're chill. It's like, man, they found ways to get it done. I like what the Cowboys are doing. They are legit. They are for real. This is not Cowboys homerism. They're a top 5 team, no question. I got them at 2. And then the Bills, number 1. I think this is...
We got to circle the wagons.
Yeah, no one circles the wagons quite like the Buffalo Bills.
Like the Buffalo Bills.
Josh Allen's they had 7 plays of 20 yards, of over 20 yards on Sunday versus the crappy Chiefs defense. I know it's the Chiefs defense, but that's still impressive. And on a night where Stephon Diggs, it wasn't like he went crazy. How about this Dawson Knox cat? He's on one of my fantasy teams. I could kiss him on the mouth. Josh Allen, of course, he's good. They can't run the ball that well. And that's one of the things offensively they don't do that well.
I mean, Josh Allen's your running back at this point.
But yeah, Josh Allen can get it done on the ground for sure. Their pass rush is legit. The Bills haven't had a pass rush in a long time. They got one now, playing with leads. That's a strong situation. So Bills are 1, and there it is.
Wow.
The Wooly Bully NFL
Cowboys
Power
at
Rankings.
2. Okay.
Football, boys and girls. Here's Wolchuk. He says, I got the Cowboys much higher than he would have. He's got them at 5, maybe 4. He would have Bills as number 1. He would go here, top 6. He would go Chargers, Rams, Cowboys, Bucks, Cardinals, Bills. That's how Wolchuk sees it.